Welcome to my world. Handicapped man down at a charity feed. Great spread this morning. God, it was horrible. But it made what I needed to happen. Then I had these people that stopped and said, "Hey, you want some shoes?" I said, "Yeah, I was going to need to get some anyway. So might as well." And if it really comes to fruition, help them buy more shoes so that we can help more people. I'm not we, but you know what I mean. Hell, might as well. There's nothing wrong with helping someone.
Are you ready for the wildest ride on Fremont Street? The Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171 on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. Open 7 days a week, noon until midnight. Strap yourself in, pull your safety belts tight, and feel the power and the speed at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. Downtown Las Vegas, Fremont Street, 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171, right on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. What are you waiting for? Log on, get your tickets now. It's time to go racing at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas.
We are set, ready to go. Man, we've got your updates from Atlanta. We'll talk a little F1 racing, World of Outlaws, and the High Limits, man. Special guest. It's an all-female cast today. Scratch is standing by at the Nutsack Studios. We're ready to rock and roll. On Pit Road Racing starts right now.
Race friends, they're back together again. Live from Daytona Beach, Florida, it's Scratch with a K. And live from Las Vegas, it's Alan Michaels. Right here, right now, on the flagship station, the WCOBM TV network. It's On Pit Road Racing.
To you here in Las Vegas, Nevada, man, where it is as smoking turkey in the oven day. About 106 out here today, man. No breeze. We had an Abubi sandstorm the other day ago, Scratch. I'm telling you, the sand just covered the whole damn town, man. It was wild. People were freaking out on the
highway.
Those
are wild. Those are wild. I remember the first sandstorm I went through out there. I was like, wow, this is crazy.
It's crazy, ain't it? Ladies and gentlemen, Alan Michaels here at the WCOBM main studios, downtown Las Vegas, 450 Fremont Street. Get myself straight there. And we do the show each and every Thursday. My partner right there is live in Daytona Beach, Florida. A pleasant good evening to you, Scratch with a K.
Hey, and a great good afternoon to you, sir.
There we go, buddy. I'm telling you. Did you catch any racing this weekend?
I did not get to this weekend. I stayed a little busy myself. I went kayaking on Sunday. I kayaked for 9 miles. The first time I did that, it was 9 miles to nowhere.
9 miles.
But it was fun. Saw a few gators. Kind of wish one would have ate me by this point in my life.
You didn't see none of them funky snakes out there, did you?
No, just gators.
Gators, man. I stay away from all that stuff, man. I don't like it at all. Hey, we're getting ready to go. Scratch, it's an all-female cast today. Ida Zetterstorm, man, coming up at 3:30. I just resent the invitation to her management. This lady rocked it in the UK, man. She's the FIA Top Fuel champion, Superbike champion, Super Gas champion, man. She's done it all. And then we got two lovely ladies from Ashcraft Racing that are going to join us here. Let me see. We got Miss Riley Allen and Maramie Ashcraft will all join us. One's running in the dirt. The other's running a stock car, man. So we got it all together for you, man. So let's get it going, man. We do it on Pit Road Racing right here at the WCOBM studios, downtown Las Vegas. We do it each and every Thursday. Start this bad boy off at 3 p.m. on the West Coast, 6 p.m. on the East Coast. And we want to thank our show sponsors and partners real quick. Gene Woods Racing Experience, the Woods Family Sandwiches, the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, Las Vegas Motor Speedway, Atlanta Motorsports Park, Red One Scooters, Hammer and Harry's. And coming up with us next week, we will welcome our good friends from the Downtown Grand Hotel and Casino, the official partner for the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame for 2026, Scratch. So we'll bring those fine folks aboard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, that'd be awesome.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, man. Atlanta was good racing this week. I got to tip my helmet to a man beating and banging, drafting on the fastest mile and a half that NASCAR's got. I mean, I've been to Atlanta a couple times, and they just absolutely rock and roll down there. So we're looking forward to see what happens. They're off to road racing again. So That's the way it is. Hey, real quickly, Scratch, I don't know if you got yours. I got mine
do.
right there. Let's show them the shoes. You see the ticker that's going across the bottom right here, man. We have made stops all over Vegas, all over California, Arizona, giving out shoes to the homeless, needy people right here. Good quality shoes. Got the Hot Shoe logo on it. Scratch has got his. And if you'd like to become a partner, if you'd like to donate it, everything goes to this nonprofit. It is a 501c. We've got I should say it's a 501c3 nonprofit. There we go. And we've got all the information that we can get to. So your money that's donated to get these shoes doesn't go to me, doesn't go to Scratch. It goes to the shoes. If you want some more information, contact us at 702-803-0875. Well, Scratch, let's get it rolling. I got Race and Weather together. You're going to get ready to tell everybody where they're running around the track. And Race and Weather is brought to you by our good friends at Woods Family Sandwiches, 931 American Pacific, Suite 106, Las Vegas, Henderson. That's right on the line right there, man. They're out there by that new Auto Valley Mall.
I don't know anything about that.
Man, it's like 100 dealerships and like a gazillion cars.
We have one of those here at Auto Mall. We have an Auto Mall here in Daytona too, right off the interstate. So, but yeah, so they built one of those out in Las Vegas too. They're neat, man. It's just everybody, why compete? Everybody shops around anyway. Just put all the cars in one spot. Let's look at them.
There you go. Well, here we go for the Monster Energy Series racing in Michigan this weekend. Weather for Saturday looking really good, Scratch, and everybody out there for the Supercross Series. Partly cloudy skies. High's going to be right around 90. There's a slight chance of rain, only 10%. A breeze will be blowing by. Going to be looking at just about 90 degrees and cooling off at 74 for the nighttime. NASCAR's back in Chicagoland, man. That's right. The trains and all the good stuff there. Street course for you. Saturday, mostly sunny skies with a high right around 90, dropping off in the mid-70s for the campers in the nighttime. Sunday looks like it could be wet, and they might need the rain tire, Scratch, because they've got a 60% chance of rain all day, all night long, with a highs about 83, dropping off to 69. The NHRA, the fastest cars in the world, are off this week, and they'll be heading to the Great Northwest coming up in about 2 weeks. F1's going to be in Great Britain this weekend, where the rain tires are going to be needed there too, Scratch. Cloudy skies all weekend long, rain popping up at any time. Highs for the weekend right around the mid-70s, dropping off to the low mid-50s for a nighttime low. IndyCar, high limits, and the World of Outlaws are all off. They've got breaks this week. That's Race and Weather, brought to you by our good friends at the Woods Family Sandwiches, 931 American Pacific, Suite 106, Las Vegas, Henderson. More information on catering, Worldwide Web, WFSandwiches.com. Scratch, take us around the track and tell us everybody's where they're racing at this weekend, buddy.
Yes, sir. Y'all buckle up. I'm going to take y'all around the track. It's the Monster Energy Supercross Series, round number 23. It is July 5th at Buchanan, Michigan. The Progressive Flat Track Series is July 5th at Duquesne, Illinois. Speedway motorcycle racing is East Coast Action Park Speedway 8 Champion Speedway, July 12th. West Coast Speedway motorcycle racing, September 13th. Costa Mesa Industry Hills, July 12th. Formula One, July 4th, 5th, and 6th. Grand Prix of Great Britain. So that's going on this weekend. IndyCar takes a couple of weeks off. They're going to return on July 12th in Iowa Speedway. NHRA, July 18th, 19th, 20th. Northwest Nationals, Kent, Washington. The NOS Energy Series, July 10th. Deer Creek Speedway, July 11th and 12th in Wilmot Raceway. High Limit Series, July 11th and 12th at Florida Speedway. NASCAR, you got the ARCA West, July 11th. Sonoma Raceway. ARCA East, Dover Motor Speedway, July 18th. And the trucks, Lucas Oil, Indianapolis Raceway Park, Friday, July 25th is when they'll be in action, 8 p.m. Xfinity Series. They're taking the streets of Chicago this weekend on Saturday, July 5th at 4:30. And the Cup, of course, in the Chicago Street Race this Sunday, July 6th. You mentioned they might need rain tires. Alan, I'm sure they're going to. They've needed them every time they've been there so far. That's a look around the track.
There you go, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate that. Hey, man, like I said, if everything works out all right and everything's good, we've got Ida Zetterstrom. She's going to be joining us, man. She is Top Fuel Racing here in the United States. She's a champion from Sweden, UK area, from everything, man, everything that those things and those bikes and cars can do. She's done it and won a championship. Then we got the two lovely ladies that will go racing around the country. Scratch, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have to update everybody on the motorcycle racing news. And let's see, what else do we got to do here? We'll do that. And what else? We'll catch in. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Motorcycle news and NHRA updates are all coming up for you. We got it today. I'm telling you, it's been a wild one out there. Stand by for us. We're getting started on a Thursday afternoon. Scratch and Daytona. Yours truly, Alan, here in Las Vegas. And we're rocking and rolling. Time for a little Night of Fire right here at On Pit Road Racing.
Yeah.
Good out there for you on a Thursday afternoon to just about 11 minutes after the hour. Coming up at the top of the hour, Scratch and Daytona Beach. Have a little swig of that energy drink. Yours truly, Alan Michaels, back here in Las Vegas. Cup of water. I'm ready to go. Scratch, let's get it kicked off, man. A lot of motorcycles. I don't know if you caught it. I was watching motorcycle racing on Peacock, man. Tragic thing, and we'll talk about it a little later. But three young people, well, two young people and another senior gentleman were all killed motorcycle racing this past weekend, man. And I hate to hear that. I mean, it's just the one gentleman, and we'll get to it in our chats, 16 years old. He's just signed a deal with Kawasaki, man. Unbelievable. So we'll talk about that when it comes time to chat time, all right?
For sure.
All right. Go ahead, Scratch.
Right.
Take it.
Yeah, man. Motorcycle racing news is brought to you by the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, celebrating and preserving the memories of great motorcycle racers and the motorcycle industry icons, past and present. For more information, you can log on to hotshoehof.com. It's rolling right down there on the bottom ticker. Looking for shoes. Get on there. hotshoehof.com. Alan?
You got a Monster Energy news. The 2025 Monster Energy Supercross Series rolled into Southwick, Massachusetts for round number 22. Results from the 450 class winner. Here you go, man. From the 450 class winner. Looking at this, Jet Lawrence and Hunter Lawrence, man. Eli Tomac, Eli Tomac, man. In the 250s, it was Hayden Deegan. That's Haley's little brother. Older brother, I should say. Yes, Hayden is older than Haley. Tom Valley and Levi Kitchen. Right now, the points in the 450 class, it's Cooper Webb and Justin Cooper. Aaron Plessinger. I caught this kid, man. He's the cowboy, man. I've been wanting to find out who this guy is, and I watched him on Saturday. Is Aaron Plessinger, man. Check him out. He's the cowboy. Blue jeans, Carhartt boots, American flag hat. Just goes nuts. The crowd goes crazy for this guy, man. I'm telling you. In the 250 class, it's Hayden Deegan, Joe Samoda, and Tom Vallely in your points. And, of course, the series is going to be heading off to Michigan this next week. Scratch, you got the American Flat Track Association there, buddy.
Yeah, it's the Progressive American Flat Track Series, and they're at the Lima half mile results was night number one winner Dallas Daniels. Second was Briar Bauman. Third was Brandon Robinson. On night two, winner Brian Bauman, Dallas Daniels, and Brandon Robinson. So the top three was the same. It just kind of switched around just a little bit. AFI singles, winner Tom Drain. After 5 events, here's a look at the points. Super Twins point standings. Brian Bauman, he's in first. Dallas Daniels, he's in second. Brandon Robinson, he's in third. That would explain why they finished that way quite a bit, it looks like. AFT singles, Tom Drain, Chase Satoff, and Trevor Bruner.
Speedway Racing News, AMA Speedway National Championships round number 2 is coming to Industry Hills on August 9th. The AMA Super National Championship final round September 15th at Fast Fridays. In the AMA Speedway National Under 21 Championship October 11th down in Bakersfield. That's over at Kern County at Kevin Harvick's place. And that's a look at what's happening in the motorcycle biz, buddy. Take us there. All right.
I'm sorry, my bad. Yeah, this segment was brought to you by the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, celebrating and preserving the memories of great motorcycle racers and the motorcycle industry icons, past and present. More information, you can log on to hotshoehof.com. Sorry, Alan.
No problem, man. Our quick word from Jerry B. When you come back, we've got the latest from what happened in the NHRA because they were in Ohio this past week. We'll do it right after this, everybody.
Jerry B. here up in Sacramento, Union Gospel Mission, giving out some shoes to the homeless. Here, a lot of smiling faces. We got one deal. We give you a pair of shoes. You got to give us a smirk and a photo. And this is the mission of the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, which is a nonprofit organization based out of Las Vegas, started by Gene Woods. We're trying to do good things and fill little holes in people's lives the best we can. And today we're up in Sacramento, just doing the best we can. Thanks for supporting us.
Buddy Jerry B right there, man. Down who's in Sacramento. Got some new footage, man. The guys, Scratch, you've been here, you've lived here. They actually, I don't know, I lost my Scratch there. There he goes. He'll pop back up in here. There he goes. No, we'll get him back. Anyhow, live in there. Alan Michaels here in Las Vegas, Scratch down in Daytona. It might be a little weather shaking some things up there. I'll let him click back in. While he does that, you take a listen to this and we'll be right back, everybody.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Come on! What the yeah! Oh man! Woo! That is awesome!
Jan out there tonight. If you're in Las Vegas, that's right. It's the Night of Fire, big fireworks show out there for you. So make sure that you're joining us for that. It's going to be a good one. The boats are Scratch. I don't know, but
I don't know either.
Anyhow, I got a picture yesterday. Kevin Terrell sent it. I think posted it up online. The boats are there, buddy, and I mean they got a crap load of boats to tear up this.
That's
week.
the night too. That's the night. See, this is where I should be. Not here. Not here being booted off the internet by some storm outside. I should be there.
I know.
Pulling a
Where
boat
you
around.
With a boat out there and cooking it like a turkey in the oven at 106 today. All right. Let's take a look at the NHRA. Take us there, Scratch.
You know what? I could not find the NHRA notes.
All right. Well, I'll tell you this.
Just to let you know.
While you do that, take a quick break. I'll give you do that, and I'll run this, and we'll be right back at you. Stand by, buddy. Hey, it's time to look at the NHRA. The segment brought to you by our good friends at Hammer and Harry's. Good food, fun times, service with an attitude. Home of the $5 margarita right there. And I know you love them, Scratch. $5 margaritas, man. I mean, they are just kicking. All right, there you go.
I would. Hey, I found it.
You found it. All right. Well, there you go. So I'll just go this way. We'll finish this up. In fact, you go ahead, Scratch. I got the intro there. They're located at 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas. So where it says Alan, you just go ahead and say Scratch.
I see that. I see that. I'm following along now.
There you go.
I'm looking. I was focused on those $5 margaritas once you said that a minute ago, though.
There you go.
Now we're ready to go. The NHRA moves to Ohio this past weekend. Here's a look at your winners. Top Fuel, Justin Ashley. Funny Car is Austin Prock. Pro Stock, Corey Reed. Pro Stock Motorcycle, John Hall.
Yeah, you got a new winner in there this week. I mean, a new winner in the Pro Stock. It wasn't Gage Herrera. You know, I mean, Justin Ashley and Austin Prock are still kicking. Corey Reed picking up. Really surprised about Eric Enders, man. I am so surprised the 6-time champion is just, if they were to start the playoff rounds now, she'd be out. She would not make it. I mean, basically, any of the Skaggs and Jegs guys would be, they're just not having a good year at all, man. That's it.
Right.
I'm telling you. Well, you know, that's her. There you go. All right. I got the look at the points. You want to tell us about the points, buddy?
Yeah, sure. It's Top Fuel, man. Smoke is still up there in the lead with Sean Langdon, just creeping back there with 52 points back. And Austin Prock in the funny car, he's leading it by 127 points on fast Jack Beckman. Greg Anderson in the Pro Stock is leading with Dallas Glenn, just 50 points back. And Gage Herrera, Pro Stock Motorcycles, he's leading with Matt Smith, 96 back.
There you go. Hey, this segment is brought to you by our good friends at Hammer and Harry's. Good food, fun times, service with an attitude. Home of the $5 margarita, located at 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas. They're actually just catty corner from us, Scratch. So if you get out here and we do a show, you come and do the show out here with me, and we do some fun things. We'll just roll right out of the studio, cut ourselves about a 25-yard cut right across the parking lot or across the center of the courtyard, and we're right at Hammer and Harry's, buddy. There you go.
Man. That's what I like to hear, right? Very conveniently located.
We're waiting about 10 minutes to see if we got everything got hooked up with Ida Zetterstrom. She is the new sweetest sensation in the NHRA. She has broke all kinds of records. We'll talk to her. And then we've got the ladies racing around the country. Riley Allen and Mary Ashcraft is going to be joining us. Okay, so we'll get all that together. One quick break, Scratch, and I think when we come back, let's talk a little World of Outlaws and the High Limit Series. All right, on Pit Road Racing, rolling right here, Scratch in Daytona, Allen down here in Las Vegas. Right after this, everybody.
Are you ready for the wildest ride on Fremont Street? The Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171 on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. Open 7 days a week, noon until midnight. Strap yourself in, pull your safety belts tight, and feel the power and the speed at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, downtown Las Vegas, Fremont Street, 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171, right on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. What are you waiting for? Log on, get your tickets now. It's time to go racing at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas.
It's a full break tonight, man. Night of Fire, double twins, and the super late models fireworks show. And what Scratch was missing most, waterless boat racing tonight, man.
If I could have only made it happen.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Memory Ashcraft and Riley Allen join us at the top of the hour, 4 o'clock, and we're about 8 minutes away. And hopefully we get hooked up with Ida here, so we'll do that. Scratch, let's do a little racing from the news from the dirt and take us there, buddy.
Yeah, racing news from the dirt. This segment's brought to you by Gene Woods Racing Experience, 450 Fremont Street, Las Vegas, the only true indoor drift track in Nevada, definitely in Las Vegas and right there on Fremont Street. Go-Karts, LasVegas.com. Spell karts with a K like you do my name, Scratch with a K. 702-270. There's a number missing. It says 702-270-810.
Zero. There you go. 8100. The World of Outlaws American Beer Series. And here's the results. From Grand Forks and Norman County. Winner Nick Hoffman, Dennis Erb Jr., Ashton Winger. That was on night number 1. Night number 2 was Nick Hoffman again with Ethan Dodson and Dennis Erb Jr. there. Here's the results for you from Nodak Speedway. It was Tim McCready winning that event up there. Bobby Pierce up in second spot. And your points right now as they stand, Scratch. Bobby Pierce up on top. Nick Hoffman, Ryan Gustafson, and Drake Troutman are your top 4 right there. All right, buddy? Here we go.
Yeah, there you go. Racing news from the dirt. That segment was brought to you by Gene Woods Racing Experience, 450 Fremont Street, Las Vegas, the only true indoor drift track. Go-Karts, LasVegas.com. Spell karts with a K. 702-270-8100 for more info on that.
There you go, man. Let's move it up to the high limits. Take me there, buddy.
All right, the high limits.
I'm liking it, man. That's where Casey Kane's are running. You got Larson running over there, Brad Sweet, and all those good guys, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, that's some racing I'd like to go see myself. This report is brought to you by Red One Scooters. Need some mobility help? Contact our good friends at Red One Scooters, 702-713-0587 to make your reservation. You need to get around? Call Red One.
You got it. Scratch, go ahead and take the whole series right there for the high limits. And I'm going to check the phone here, make sure everything's good and kosher. Be right back. So tell them everything that happened with the high limit series, my friend.
Will do, sir. The series headed to Lucas Oil Speedway for 3 days of racing, June 26th, 27th, and 28th. Your results: night number 1 winner, Aaron Rutzel. Second was Tanner Thorson. Third, Brad Sweet. Night number 2 winner, Rico Abreu. Second was Tyler Countney. Third was Tanner Thorson. Night 3 winner, Tyler Countney. Second, Aaron Rutzel, and Rico Abreu finished third. The points standings, as there is after this past weekend, Aaron Rutzel, he's in first. He's got 1,350 with 1,341. In second, it's Brad Sweet. Third is Tyler Courtney. That's what I thought. Rico Abreu in fourth. Brent Marks in fifth. Justin Peck in sixth. Tanner Thorson in seventh. Chase Randall in eighth. Casey Kane, former Cup driver, in ninth. And Spencer Baston in 10th. I knew that was a typo earlier on the Courtney. Sorry about that, Tyler Courtney. This report is brought to you by Red One Scooters. You need some mobility help? Contact our good friends at Red One Scooters, 702-713-0587 to make your reservation. You need to get around, you call Red One.
That's what we use out here at the track to get Diane and I around. You've been out here, man. The pits are, they're not like Daytona.
No.
But I mean, there's so much other stuff that goes around that darn thing. I mean, you got the Cup garage, you got the Xfinity garage, and you got to go over on the far side of to the trucks. I mean, it's just crazy. Just got a message from Ida's PR person, so she'll be joining us about 4 or 5 minutes. Real quickly, you want to move it up to the F1 and IndyCar? You want to go ahead and we'll knock that out, and we'll get Ida ready to go for us. All right?
Yeah, man, let's do it.
I meant to ask you, how was Gene at the comedy auction thing?
He stood over at the end and just watched me for a while, and then he left out a little bit early and then told me to get hold of him to go to breakfast. But he probably goes to breakfast when you're supposed to eat breakfast, and I don't. So I haven't been able to get up with him again since then. But yeah, he came to the comedy auction. Looked like he had a good time for the most part. You know, he just kind of stood over there and, you know, absorbed everything and watched me be silly, because that's what I do at the comedy auction on Tuesdays, man. It was fun though. But yeah, he didn't buy anything.
He didn't buy anything?
Yeah, he didn't buy anything at the auction.
He said that he found some stuff down there that has, I think he said, was the 2003 Daytona, the entire drivers, a portrait that was done.
Oh.
Signed and autographed from him. He found some crazy stuff down there. And I don't know where it's some auctions, because I almost thought he was got it from you.
No.
I mean,
we have some good stuff sometimes. Like we've had like whole years of baseball cards, but four of each card. So like we've had like whatever year like set, and then there's been like 4 of each, and like 800 cards or something ridiculous like that. We have those quite a bit. I don't know where they come from exactly, but I think some of this stuff comes from the same people, and it's pretty neat, some of the stuff we get. And I mean, from the dumbest stuff to some of the coolest stuff. You never know what you're going to get, and I just get to make fun of the people and the stuff, so it's a good time. I didn't make fun of Gene though. I saw him, I was like, Gene Woods. I get
There you go. Are you ready? I'm going to pop this up. Look at there. Are you ready, Scratch? Are you wait a second. I got to do. You know what I got to do, Scratch, because she's a drag racer. So hold on.
Get ready. He loves his sound effects button.
Well, here it comes. Here it comes. Get ready for it. It's getting ready to roll here in just 1 second. Are you ready for it? It's going to get. It's going to get real loud. And here it comes.
Come on.
That's what 13,000 horsepower sounds off when it comes off of the line at any one of the NHRA tracks. And Scratch, if you're out here, they do that 4 wide once a year. So take 13,000 times 4 and lap it right on in. Scratch, I met our first guest. I actually got in contact with her through the LinkedIn program, and she was actually not even in the United States then. She was over back in the UK. But Scratch, just to let you know, this little lady right here, man, started racing when she's 8 years old. Wow. Man, by the time the category came in 2017, she was a 2000 two-time champion 2019 and 20. In 2019, she was the first woman and the youngest competitor to win the championship in a super street bike class. She received the VIP Racing Fuel Special Award for the racer with the most notable achievements. She became the first woman to eclipse the 200-mile-an-hour barrier on a no-wheelie bar drag bike, man. And then from that point on, she just started smoking it off. She was crowned the 2023 FIA Top Fuel European Champion after picking up. Are you ready for this, Scratch? Are you ready for this? After picking up 4 event wins and 3 number 1 qualifiers, our guest only got beat one time, only one round. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please make her feel warm and welcome? And boy, I hope I don't screw this up. Driving that NHRA Top Fuel Dragster for the NHRA Mission Foods, Miss Ida Zetterstrom. Good afternoon, ma'am, and thank you so much for joining the program. Did I say it right?
It's Ida Zetterström, but it was kind of close.
That's okay.
So I'm from Sweden. So
usually when it's
Ida
tough
and
names,
Ida.
he makes me do them. Usually when they're tough names, he makes me do them. So this time he got to butcher one.
It's very common over here. Obviously, Ida is a name in America, so everybody calls me Ida, but it's actually Ida. That's the way to say it over in Europe. Yes.
Ida.
Well, Miss Ida, tell us how you got started in racing.
Well, I've grown up at the racetrack, basically. Always been around it. My family has been involved in racing in different shapes of form. My dad raced before I was born, and then throughout my childhood, he worked with a bunch of teams, built engines, and helped crew chief for certain teams out there. And I kind of grew up in the pits. Started racing when I was 8 years old in a class that's called Junior Dragster. So started then, and then it's kind of took off since then. And when I was 16, I licensed in a class that's called Super Comp. And then I moved over to bikes actually a little while after that and did about 7 years on motorcycles, still drag racing motorcycles, but the super street bike class that you mentioned, it's a 750 horsepower, no wheelie bar bike run on a street tire. So it's a different class than what you see over here in NHRA, but they're very fun but rowdy bikes, turbo bikes, a lot of high wheelies, a lot of action in that class. Some fantastic years over there. Obviously, that's where we won our 2 first championships and set some records. But Top Fuel had always been my dream and goal and what I've been working towards for many years. So in 2021, I got my Top Fuel license over in Europe. So I'm half Swedish, half Finnish. I'm from a small island in between Sweden and Finland, but I licensed with a Norwegian team that was based in UK and then raced with them for 3 years.
Wow. Let me ask you this. Is there a big difference between the racing, drag racing there and what drag racing we got here? Is there a really big difference between cars, motors, setups, or anything like that?
No, not a really big difference. The biggest difference is basically like the amount of tracks. Obviously, there's more tracks over here in US than there is over in Europe. We do have quite a lot of tracks, but a lot of them aren't on the standard, basically like NHRA tracks where you can actually run Top Fuel car at. If you have basically a street car and you want to go race in Sweden, you actually have a bunch of tracks that you could almost race every weekend during the summer. It's very cool. But when you start coming up to the level of super street bike and Top Fuel that I did the last years, you gotta have like a track that can really handle 12,000 horsepower, So we don't have as many tracks. We don't have as many competitors over here. Obviously, the fields are a lot bigger. The budgets are a lot bigger. We spend a lot more money over here in America because a lot of the teams or most of the teams in what I am in right now are, full-time teams that have employed guys that basically work with this as their living. Over in Europe, that's not such a thing. Like over in Europe, I had a small core group of guys. We were 4 guys and me and our crew chief running the Top Fuel kind of operation over there. And none of them were paid. Everybody did it because they love the sport. They took all the time off from work to come and do this. Slept on air mattresses in the trailers. Our budgets were smaller, so we mostly used used parts. Like we bought the parts from the race teams over in America when they didn't use them anymore. We bought them and we ran over there. So the setup and the cars and how it's run is actually very similar. It's just that it's not the same scale as it is over here. And obviously over here, if you look at Top Fuel and you have 20 races per year plus a certain amount of testing, you progress a lot more quicker than you do in Europe. When you have, I usually ran 8 events per year. 6 of them were races, and 2 of them were kind of show events where we showcase the sport at different events through Europe. So less seat time for us over there. We went a little slower, but not, I mean, I had the European records over there. I still do 377 at 321 miles per hour. So we're a little bit behind what we are running over here in US, but still not that much considering the budgets are 10 times smaller. We don't have as many races. Everything is kind of on a lower budget.
Right. Scratch, you stand by. I got one quick one. I watched this weekend because you were talking about the money. And
Yeah.
Tony Stewart did a thing, and he said because he blew a motor. And I know you know Tony and Leah. And
Yeah.
Tony's very candid. And Tony said, well, that one just cost me $100,000 right there. I mean, that's $100,000 out the door. I blew it up and this and that. So is it like that same thing? If you blew your motor in your top fuel there, are you looking at $100,000 like Tony you would look if you blew it here?
Well, it's still the same amount of damage. Then obviously the cost is what did you pay for the parts? I mean, most of the teams over here, they buy brand new parts, brand new blocks, like everything is brand new. And then obviously the value of the parts that you actually blew up is higher than the value of the parts over there in the car, since a lot of it might be used parts. Everybody's not running used parts. Usually all parts are not used parts. So it's still going to cost you a lot when that happens. But obviously if you had paid less for the product you put in, you're kind of damaging less amount of money, so to say, but it's still the same amount of it's the still thing that happens. If you blow up in Europe and you blow up in America, the blow up is the same.
You blow up. Scratch.
That's kind of how it is.
Yeah.
You don't get any discount on that. The blow up doesn't get any less just because it's on low budgets.
Where do you? Oh, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
No, I said you go.
Okay, then. Where do you prefer racing at? Over there or over here?
I mean, I raced over there for 23 years. I absolutely loved it. Some of my greatest memories in racing has obviously been crafted over in Europe. Sure. I absolutely loved my team over there, both when I raced the bike and my team racing Top Fuel. A lot of the times when everybody does it just because they love it, it's a certain camaraderie that is very hard to find anywhere else. A lot of the times, I do have a really fantastic team over here, and I know that they really love the racing. But when you have people that take all the time they have away from work to just go to the track, to be together as a team and work to win those trophies, it is something special with it. But I will say that I want to be here racing. This is what I've been working towards my whole life, and this is where I want to be. I don't plan to go back home and race. I really want to make it over here and race here for many, many years to come. But I wouldn't trade the years I've had in Europe for anything, because it's some of my fondest memories, and some of the best people I know come from over there,
What's the fastest you've been in a Top Fuel car yourself? What's your top speed?
If I can remember correctly, I think I've been 334. I think it might be more. I'm a little bad at remembering numbers, but I'll look it up for you guys.
It's all right. It's
a little bit over 330 miles per hour.
Listen, that's fast enough.
I want to say 338. I think I've been up there, but I gotta check that to make sure. They kind of blur together when you run quite a lot, and then you chase these numbers. And then now also, when I've been out of the seat, I've been working in the announcing booth for NHRA. So now I'm the one sitting there and calling all the numbers everybody else is running, and for me that makes all the numbers just blur together in my head.
For sure. I believe that.
I'm a little bad at that, I will say.
It's all right.
I saw some photos. It looks like you've hooked up with Leah Pritchett, Leah Stewart, which way you want to call it. I mean, have you guys have gotten together? Have you learned a lot from Leah and Tony or anybody else in the garage area from the American version? I just noticed that I saw a lot of pictures with you and Leah in the pits working together, talking, conversations. Is she sort of helped developing you along the American style of racing?
Well, me and Leah know each other really well from both working with Dodge. I was a Dodge sponsored athlete over in Europe, and obviously she's been linked with Dodge here for many, many years. And everybody talks about the brotherhood of muscle, and we are the sisterhood of muscle. So that's kind of how we, get together, and get to do a lot of cool stuff together. Obviously, filming everything from podcasts. We've been out driving with our Hellcats together and done, cool content and got to spend some time together. Also away from the cameras, just her and I. So yeah, I really look up to Leah for a lot of things she's done here in the sport. She has not it hasn't been that I come in and she's teach me how to ride. Obviously, I already drove the cars when I came in here, so I haven't really had anyone mentoring me or teach me how to drive. I've come in with the style I have, and then I work together with my crew chief. That's been my main source of contact for the driving style and how we're performing on track. That's me and my crew chief working together on that. But what I did really appreciate was me and Leah actually took a long drive together before I made my debut, and she could sit down and explain to me, all the things about the tracks that you don't know until you come to them. Small stuff where it can be like, hey, the Phoenix track, when you turn in before you go to the water box, is really tight. You might want to angle it differently if you come into the left lane or the right lane. Hasn't really been about the driving, so to say, in the car. It's been more about these things that NHRA drag racing has that we don't have over there, or differences with the tracks. Example, when I came in, I wanted to ask, how does it work when you come to top end over here? What do they do over there? Because we don't have personnel in top end that, help us out with the cars. We don't have any cameras over there over in Europe. So it's very different. Stuff like that I could go through with her. Over in Europe, we don't have any of those little four-wheelers that come out and push the cars in on the track, like stuff like that we don't have. So I could ask her, like, hey, should I think about something when we do this? And she could explain to me some of these rules that might be different over here from back at home. There's not a whole lot of rules that are different, but it can be certain things where it's like, hey, don't open your visor until you've turned the corner. Things that she didn't want me to forget because it's not something that we have paid attention to in Europe. So I really appreciate stuff like that. And then also, obviously, be able to ask her about stuff when I might be thinking about stuff for social media marketing or whatever it might be, and I want another female racer's opinion. I ask her about stuff, but I think other than that, it's not really been like a mentoring relationship. It's more just like she's a friend for me out here, and it feels great to have another racer friend, especially when she was out of the seat last year. I feel like she actually had the time to kind of come see me run and actually be there a little bit extra, which was very nice for me, obviously. And same with Tony. I mean, yeah, Tony was in the car last year, and I think her mentoring was more mentoring Tony, making sure that Tony, like, actually talking about driving the car and how to do that. I know she has helped him a lot, but then it actually comes down to like how you want to drive it. I know that everybody has different styles out here, and I know that Tony and Leah does not drive the car the same way. Like, everything is obviously a preference. Like, you gotta try it, and it's the same way there. I don't think me and Leah drive the car that similarly either. But I will say one thing, like the car I drove over in Europe, that was actually Leah's old car. Like, Leah raced that car in NHRA before it came over to Europe. So that car was always so well fitted for me. We're the same height. We're a lot of the same sizes. I drove with Leah's old seat insert. I didn't even have my own molded seat. Like, I drove with all that. And some of the things when I came over here and jumped in the car with my new team, they were different than the car I was used to driving. So she was a good reference point for me to come and talk to too. I was like, hey, when we drove that car, because we both did, I could say, I felt this or this. How have you guys been able to get that in the new cars? Because that was an open cockpit car too that we both drove, that car that I had in Europe. This is a canopy car. That was also one thing I was able to talk to her about. What do you feel the differences are in a canopy car and an open cockpit car before I got in it the first time? So obviously she's been a great friend for me out here from those reasons. I think she's mentored Tony more than she's mentored me. I think we have that sisterhood of muscle and friendship out here.
Scratch, you got a question for
her? I did, and I forgot what it was because I started listening to her talking about. I did, and then I was listening to her talking about Tony, and I was going to mention though that it is a pretty good shoulder to lean on. You know what I mean? Even if she, like you said, she's mentoring Tony a little bit more, but it's good to have that shoulder to lean on over here. I'm sure, being especially in a different country for you and racing as well. So yeah, I was pretty much, you kind of had answered the question while you were talking. So
I've had several great racers out here that has helped me with different things. It hasn't really been about the driving on track. Sometimes it's more about all the things happening around. Obviously, all these tracks in Europe, I went to the same tracks every year for so many years. So I knew them so well, and I knew the personnel there. I knew who to ask if I had questions. Coming over here, every track was new for me. So more stuff like that, asking someone. It could be as simple as asking someone, "Hey, what's the best airport to fly into when we're going to this race?" Small stuff where
Right.
it's just everybody out here has been out here for so many more years than I have. So it's been really great that they've kind of taken care of me in that regard. And same with other drivers out here. I mean, I just a couple of weeks ago when we were racing, I went to Brittany to ask her about certain things because she also is in a canopy car and has at some point raced in an open cockpit car, and she was also really great on explaining to me some of the differences she felt and how we might implement different things or so on. So it's not really about the mentoring side of the racing. I just feel like everybody out here has been very open to answering questions about like how certain things are run over here, how it works with the parts of the car that might be different over here than the car I raced over in Europe.
Got a couple of minutes left with you. I was going to ask, have you drove or raced anything else besides a drag car? Have you drove an open wheel circle car, a stock car, anything like that at all?
No, I mean we ran a lot of motocross when I was younger. Never raced motocross or anything like that. I had an enduro for many years where we just loved to go out and run. My boyfriend ran a lot because he was racing in a Swedish series in motocross. So a lot of our nights were spent out at the motocross track. So I really like that. And then it's a form of racing you guys don't have here in US, but we have something back in Sweden that's called folkrace. What you could kind of describe it as is like a short course form of rally, but you kind of use like a old beat up car where you put a cage in it, and then there's kind of a cost limit to how much you can spend on the cars, and then you go out there and then you just race them really hard on a short course, and it's like part asphalt, part gravel. So I did that when I was 16 or 15. It was really fun, but it also collided a lot with my drag races. So I ended up, not going to as many. And after a while, it kind of died out, but it was super fun.
That sounds like my kind of racing right there. I was going to say.
It's super fun. I think you love it. Yeah.
Yeah, I race. We always talk about it. I race junk, is what I like to say. I race enduro cars, which is like full contact racing. I do flagpole racing and things like that. We take all the safety stuff out, and then I get into car racing. So
you would love this. You should.
Oh yeah, that
Google
sounds right up my alley.
Like you gotta Google it. It's great, and it's a big thing in Sweden. Like you can actually go to really big races for it. So yeah.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
So far, favorite track that you've been to? Here in this.
So favorite track, just like going to that, I haven't raced that yet. I really loved Sonoma last year when we were there, and that's actually my next race. That's the plan. So I look forward to racing at that track. I also feel like after being at super, super hot racetracks for a while now, I look forward to a track that hopefully going to be a little less hot at least, because I'm very Scandinavian. I burn in the sun instantly, and I can't really handle this like 95 degrees weather. But I also really like Brainerd, obviously, because it was my debut track. I debuted at Brainerd last year, went to the semifinals, had such amazing fans over there. They really, really welcomed me the right way. And just yesterday, we announced that we're going back to Brainerd. We added that as a race. I only have a 10 race schedule this year. Since I'm part-time, we're looking for partners to be able to be out here full-time next year. So Brainerd was originally not on our list, but we just added it. And I'm really happy about that because some of my fondest NHRA memories so far is from Brainerd.
You've been to Las Vegas, correct?
I have, yes.
What did you think
I lost
about
the first round though, so I need to come back and create some better memories. Yeah.
All right. Now wait a second. Now was that when you were here in Vegas? Was that the traditional two, or were you here during 4 wide? And my question of it is, what do you think of 4 wide?
So I ran my first 4 wide this year. It was actually in Charlotte, not the one in Vegas. But I didn't know what to think about it. I had heard so many kind of, I wouldn't say bad things, but almost, from drivers just saying, oh, there's so much, it's so easy to mess up. And they said, if you think some idiot has not staged, I bet it's you. That's what they said. Like, you just got to prepare that if someone messes up, it's probably you. So I was kind of a little bit, I wouldn't say scared, but I was a little worried. Like, how is this going to affect me? Because I had, it's new tracks for me and everything is kind of new. No, I actually really liked it. I did. Like, I felt like kind of almost gave me an advantage. I felt like it evened out everything a little bit more. I did not get stressed by the whole format of having 4 cars. Even though I'm new to NHRA and I'm new to the tracks over here, I raced for 23 years. There's not a whole lot that can throw me off on the starting line. I've staged so many times. So that part, I actually wasn't bad at all. So I will say I will definitely want to run more 4 wide races. It was actually a good one for us.
Scratch, you got the final question for.
Yeah, where do you call home here in the U.S.? Like, what area of the country?
I'm outside Indianapolis. We have a race shop right here in Brownsburg. So that's where I'm at. So I'm actually in the shop basically every day. I have my office over there. So I work there. When I'm not racing, I do a lot of other stuff for the team, obviously manage a lot of our marketing, help. We do have a social media director hired, but I'm working tightly with her. I do all my own social media, and we work very well together, like from that base over in Indy. But then also I just sent in new hotel lists for the guys, booking flights and so on for our flying guys, do a lot of the travel. And then a lot of the partner stuff, like the sponsorship stuff is stuff that I do. So I manage all of my current partners and then also do, all my own pitch decks, and I'll have all my meetings with potential sponsors. I've had a meeting just before we went on to this, actually. So it's a lot of that goes on for me. So Indy is a great base, especially being around the race team. But I've heard a lot of people thinking that the racing life is very glamorous and we're just chilling by the pool and we're not racing. I haven't seen a lot of that yet, but that's I'm very business oriented though, so I would rather have it like this.
She's a true team player right there, Alan.
And I've seen pictures because this woman here, she gets dirty. She gets dirty. She gets down there and gets working. You got to work with the NHRA because there are certain things that the drivers have to do, Scratch. I don't know how much you've been into it. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot from Antron Brown. Actually taught me a lot about drag racing and what you guys have. They have to mix their own combination. Am I correct? Of fuel. They have to know what to put in it, how much to put in it, do this, do that. Is the rule still there? The driver packs their chute?
So none of these are rules. I know some drivers don't, some drivers do, but I definitely do. We're a smaller team. I pack my own chutes. I do my own fuel. Sometimes, if we're stressed and we have more guys on hand, I can get help with the chutes, for example, but the fuel is always on me. Some teams, the drivers don't do any of that. And some teams, the drivers always have to do it. But rule of thumb is that the driver packs their own chutes.
Yeah. Mixes their gas and everything else.
Yeah.
We always give our guests the last minute of the show in their particular segment here. So, Miss Z, if you wouldn't mind, tell us where they can reach you at social media wise. Shout outs to your team members, sponsors, and just anything like that. You got the last minute, ma'am.
All right. Well, you can find me on social media. Obviously, if you search my name, Ida Zetterström, you can find me on both Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all those places. But I will say, look out for that blue verification check mark on Facebook and Instagram, because there's a lot of scammers out there and you do not want to get scammed. So just look for that. My name on Instagram is actually Dragster Fia. But if you search for my name, I will pop up. But that's what you're going to see. Dragster Fia, blue check mark, that's me. And that's where I'm the most active. Other than that, obviously, on my website, idazetterström.com and jcmnitro.com. You can see our schedules. You can see everything that's up to date. Also, make sure you follow JCM Racing on Facebook and JCM Nitro on Instagram. That's also all our team update. I have a really cool teammate, Alexis DeGeorgia. She races the funny car. I race the Top Fuel. We are the first ever all-female Nitro team. So it's kind of cool. And we have some great partners backing us. VP Racing Fuels is one of my close partners, and they're also the official race fuel of NHRA this year. We're obviously driving for JCM Nitro, and part of JCM is also Leatherwood Distillery, which is a really great bourbon. So if you haven't had it, try it out. It's actually available in Las Vegas. So definitely check it out. We have also Bandero tequila on Alexis' car. So we're definitely, if you want to party, our team has some goods. So that's
party.
Fantastic. Yeah. So no, and then obviously we have a lot of great partners that have been backing us throughout the years, bigger and smaller. But our biggest ones right now are definitely Leadwood Distillery, VP Racing Fuels, and Bandero. But then we have smaller like Impact. I got a great Impact suit. We got we got several of Joe's companies. So Joe is actually a really big entrepreneur. Joe Maynard that owns JCM Racing. He has companies, both Wraps and Treads, that makes all of our great merch. Like they have all the clothing apparel that we're working with. They also have Craft Point that makes interiors to restaurants, like really high-end restaurants. And if you ever get to Clarksville, Tennessee, you got to check out the restaurant there, Shelby's Trio. It's the best restaurant in town, top end. Just don't stay for too long, because if I lived there, I would gain a lot of weight because the food is so fantastic. It's a 3-story restaurant and you just can't stop eating. So it's fantastic.
That's great. I mean, yeah, well, you got American food, you're American drag racing, you're living in Indiana, which is pretty much
America.
home number 1B to the NHRA. A lot of teams still all have got Panoma on their mind, and I know Force has got his things out there. Some of the teams, but everybody's pretty much focused in Brownsville and around that Indianapolis area, because sort of splits the country in half. If you got to go east, you go east. You got to go west, north, south. Are you coming to Vegas in the fall?
I will be there. Right now, it's not on our schedule to race. If we find partners, I will race there. If we don't find partners for that race, I will be there announcing. So you will hear me on the mic if I'm not racing. So I'll be there no matter what. But obviously, I would hope that we could make it so that I'm in a car.
I don't know, Scratch. I think you might need to take a road trip, because she's got a beverage company there, and we've had Alexis.
I like beverages. I like beverages.
We like beverages. We do. And Alexis has been on the show before too. And Leah's been on and everything else. I want to thank you so much for taking your time with us, man. I was sort of worried because I was talking to your PR lady and everything else. I didn't know I needed to send 2 invites, and I kept worrying, did the invite get to you? Did it get to her? Is she going to transfer it? And everything worked out fine.
It worked out. Absolutely.
We really wish you the best of luck. Welcome to the United States. Welcome to the NHRA here in America. And I will say this off the top of my head. Go out there, girl, and kick some butt, man. There you go.
That's what we're going to try to do, for sure.
Yeah, we're rooting on you. Appreciate you being a guest with us, for sure.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great 4th of July weekend.
You got it. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, our next guests are ready. We're going to go circle track and dirt racing coming up next. Want to thank, I got to say this right. Eat it. Did I say it right?
Yeah,
Eat it.
Yep.
Eat it. There we go. Thank you so much for joining us, ma'am, and have a great season. We hope to see you here in Vegas, okay?
Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Welcome to my world. Handicapped man down at a charity feed. Great spread this morning. God, it was horrible. But it made what I needed to happen. Then I had these people that stopped and said, "Hey, you want some shoes?" I said, "Yeah, I was going to need to get some anyway. So might as well." And if it really comes to fruition, help them buy more shoes so that we can help more people. Well, I'm not but you know what I mean. Hell, might as well. There's nothing wrong with helping someone.
Are you ready for the wildest ride on Fremont Street? The Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171 on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. Open 7 days a week, noon until midnight. Strap yourself in, pull your safety belts tight, and feel the power and the speed at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. Downtown Las Vegas, Fremont Street, 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171, right on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. What are you waiting for? Log on, get your tickets now. It's time to go racing at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas.
There for you. Want to thank Ada Sutterstorm joining us. Scratch, what do you think? She's something, isn't she?
Yeah, man, impressive. She knows what she's doing, man. I like that too. I love when we talk to knowledgeable people. Like literally, that one time I was I had a question in it, but I was so focused on listening to what she was saying because she knows what she knows her business, man. I love this racing show, man. I love meeting different racers from all over the place, man. She was impressive. And like I said, as she kept telling her story, I was just so focused on listening to her that I didn't remember what I was going to ask her at all.
Yep.
But
Are you
that's
ready?
all right.
Are you ready to go racing around the country?
Oh, is that racing? We're going racing around the country.
We're going racing around the country. I told you this was going to be an all-female load today.
You
All
did.
right?
I'm ready. Let's go around the country.
You ready? All right. Well, we're going to go around the country. I'm going to bring the first one in right there. There she stands at the bottom. Oh, my goodness gracious. Ladies and gentlemen, a race fans, 15 years old. She runs a Class Triple X. Started racing 11 years. It's got 11 years into it. NASCAR Youth Series, man. Her home track is in El Paso County Raceway. She's from Calhoun, Colorado. She drives for Team Ashcraft Motorsports. Race friends make her feel warm and welcome. Memory Ashcraft, welcome to On Pit Road Racing. How are you today? She needs to turn her microphone up. Well, if you can hear me, turn your microphone up, and I'm going to go ahead and add the next one. Sitting beside her, right there on the forward screen, this little lady comes to us from Liberty Hill, Texas. Her home track is the HMP Oval Track in the Big O Speedway. She's a 16-year-old who also drives for Ashcraft Motorsports. Man, 11 years into the racing business. Well, I'm telling you, she seems like, will you please make this lovely lady feel warm and welcome? Riley Allen, welcome to the program, ma'am. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Memory, have you got us now? We can't hear Memory. Let me see if we do this. I got that. Let me see if we do this. And unmute and mute and there. Can you hear me now?
That one says mute.
That one does. All right. Well, we'll take it off.
Now that's unmuted right there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's start with Riley first. Scratch, you go ahead, man. The 16-year-old, she's driving some circle track, so you got the first question for her.
Sure. Why don't you tell us how you got started in racing? We always like to find that out about our guests. So shoot, tell us all about it.
So I started racing quarter midgets when I was 4.5. My dad saw an advertisement for it, and me and my brother went to go test this. It was a quarter midget. So it was this deal that was like $10 for 10 laps. And I fell in love with it instantly. My brother didn't. He decided not to do it. But I got started in the quarter midgets, and then my sister got into it with me, and we ended up sharing a quarter midget for one season before we were able to like fully afford it.
Nice.
So what's the goals here? You're basically in the stock car game, right? That's what are you primarily running stock cars?
Yeah, primarily. I try to run dirt as much as I can, but here in Texas, the weather's been really iffy, so usually the dirt tracks get closed on the weekends for rainouts.
Let's see if Memory's got her mic on. Memory, can you hear us now?
Hello.
There she is. There you go. Here we go. Memory, how did you get started racing?
My dad worked at El Paso, and someone brought a quarter midget to the track, and like just to advertise it and stuff. And my dad just decided to buy me one, and just kind of threw me in it, and we just kind of went. And from there, I've just been racing.
Well, just so she's this little this little lady is 15 years old. Like I said, she drives for Ashcraft Motorsports Class Series. She's now in the 600 restricted A class. Tell us a little bit about that, and tell us a little bit about that class. And Riley, you're in the 600 Micro A. So, Memory, tell us about the cars and what you're racing. And then right after that, Riley, tell us about what you're in.
Well, the restricted, it's kind of just like a mix between ages, like I think it's 8 to 16, and it has a plate in between. I think it's the like injection in the motor, so not as much fuel gets to it, and that's what makes it a restricted class.
Okay. Riley, how about you?
So A class is, I mean, it's kind of like what Memory said, except for when you're 16, you have to age out of restricted and go into A class. It's faster than restricted, but it's just without the plate. I've only gotten a little handful of it, but so far I love it.
Scratch question for the ladies.
Sure. Do you ladies are you all in the same area? Y'all racing the same tracks at all or no? Do y'all know it? Do y'all know each other?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I met Mem in 2022 at a quarter midget national, and the first time we met, she was just like, "Do you want to spend the night with me in my motorhome?" And then we just kind of became best friends since. But she lives in Colorado and I live in Texas.
Okay, right on. That's awesome.
So that's your hometown. So remember, you're in Colorado. That's where you're at right now. And Riley, you're in Texas. Am I correct? That's where you guys are at.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you guys both race for the same owner. So how does that work? I've been talking to Mark. So is Mark memory? Is he at one track for you one week? Then does he fly over to see where Riley's at the week after? How does this all work out with a team owner that has two drivers that are basically running certain style of cars, but you guys are crisscrossing the country here? How does it work? Memory, you go first.
So he kind of bounces between actually four of us, and I don't know. He is mostly with me, and we kind of just travel. And then if he can, he'll get to our other teammates' quarter midget races, and then he kind of just helps Riley and Emma. Emma's our other teammate, but he kind of just helps them, like probably through the phone, and just always on the phone with them trying to make it work, because it's a lot just to fly there and then fly back, especially since we're all kind of racing almost every weekend. So
this would almost call for a private jet here. There we go. Riley, how about you? So she's giving it, and that's it. Now, does he get over to see you too?
If he can, he told me that he would, but like Mem said, he kind of bounces between the four of us, me, Mem, Emma, and Peyton. So Peyton is our quarter midget girl, and he will like go to the nationals with her to help her. We were all at the shootout together this past 2024 shootout, and he was there to help all of us, and he does whatever he can to help us all.
There you go. Scratch question for the ladies.
How do you? I noticed that Memory mentioned that you pretty much race every weekend. How many races would you say you race per year? Memory, will start with you, and then Riley.
I think I do about 40 a year.
It's quite a bit. That's
quite
a
lot
bit.
of races.
Riley, what about you?
It's kind of hard to say, but with pavement, I'd say 15 to 20, depending really on the rain here, but 10 or 15, 20 with pavement, and then maybe like 10, 15 with the micro so far.
Right on.
What are you running on, Riley? What are you running on the pavement? Are you running a stock car like a super late model or something like that, or a junior late, or what are you running?
I run Allison Legacies. They're like these 3/4 size of NASCAR, but they're typically called stock cars or mini stocks, but they're Allison Legacies.
Okay. All right. Memory, how about you? Are you strictly a dirt girl, or are you run on the asphalt too?
I mostly do dirt. I haven't been in an asphalt car ever since quarter midgets.
Okay. And where do you guys see yourselves? I always ask this in Scratch. Riley, where do you see yourself, and where would you like to be in 3 years? Second part of the question, where would you like to be in 5 years? Well, Riley answers, remember, you think about it, okay? There you go. Riley, where do you want to be in 3? Where do you want to be in 5?
In 3 years, definitely running some kind of super late model series if I could. And then in 5 years, if it was possible to maybe try or make an ARCA debut, that'd be really cool.
Memory?
In 3 years, I will probably either stay in the micro and try to get more like seat time on dirt, or I'll just try to move to like a next dirt car, whether that's open wheel, closed, just another dirt car. I really like dirt.
So, Memory, would it be safe to say you want to stay to the dirt? And if I would say, if an opportunity came with the high limits or the World of Outlaws, that's something that you'd jump on, right?
100%. That's actually probably where I want to go when I'm older. I want to try to make it to the World of Outlaws, to even the high limit series.
Great racing. Riley, what about you? I mean, you talked about a super late model. I'm going to tell you something, Riley. If you want to run super lates, you need to hit North Carolina. You need to go to Winston-Salem to the Madhouse, Hickory Motor Speedway, South Boston, Langley. Because if you want to cut some teeth, by God darn, there's that. In fact, Scratch, I don't know if you saw it. There's a girl that finished, and it was a junior super late model at Bowman Gray. And she kicked their butts, and the guy that she beat got so mad.
I saw it.
Did you see this? This guy got out of his car and started to tear their girl's car up.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this is a wild place.
That was all over TikTok. I saw it.
Yeah, you saw that. Riley, where you want to is so stock car. So if the opportunity came up, you said a little earlier ARCA. So would you like to advance in possibly the trucks, Xfinity, then maybe one day strap the helmet in the Cup Series?
Yeah, of course. I think pavement so far is more my style. I think I've always been more naturally better than dirt, but I haven't, been in dirt long enough to really give a true opinion about that. But I think pavement is something I could see myself really getting further in.
It's interesting to have two ladies of about around the same age right here that are teammates, and one prefers the asphalt and one prefers the dirt. Because that was actually absolutely going to be my question, but that you kind of already had led into it because Riley had said, about getting in an ARCA car, and then we're Memory's all about. You can just tell she's all about the dirt. So it takes two totally different driving styles, really. Usually you can get like I've ran both, and I'm terrible at dirt. Terrible. I'm not necessarily fantastic at asphalt either, but that's a story for another time. But yeah, it's definitely two totally different driving styles. So I could see you latching on to one, loving one of them more than the other, if that's your thing versus, something maybe you don't prefer. But yeah, awesome.
Memory, favorite driver?
My favorite drive. Ooh, there's actually quite a bit out there that I like. I think it just depends on what series you ask. Like if you ask about NASCAR, it's probably Kyle Larson or Carson Hocevar. It's kind of hard.
Oh, all right. Let's go high limits with you. Who do you like in the high limit series?
The high limit series. That one's kind of hard. I really I think Tyler Courtney. Okay.
That's a good one. All righty. There you go. How about you, Riley? Favorite driver?
For NASCAR, Kyle Larson and Carson Hocevar are my favorites too. But also for high limits, I would have to say Kyle Larson for that one too.
Wow, she's a large. I have said this, and we've had Kyle on the show. And in fact, have any of you been to Millbridge in North Carolina to the track there? Because that's where, their kids are all racing there. Have you guys ever heard of a young kid coming up named Carter Beatty? Have you heard of Carter?
Yes.
You have? Okay, you've heard of Carter. So, and you know who Wyatt Miller is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So that's where those guys are all cutting their teeth out over there. Big time. They're there every Tuesdays and Wednesday nights. They just pack them in over there. I said this before, and I think, Scratch, this, that I believe as far as America talent right now, driver for driver, I don't care what series, you can put them in an IndyCar, you can put them in a World of Outlaw, high limits, NASCAR, it doesn't make a difference. I think right now, pound for pound, talent for talent in America, Kyle Larson is the best that's on the track, and I rank him top 5 in the world. I really do. I think he's that good of a driver. In fact, he's drove just about anything. And I asked Kyle this too, that he's done that. I said, would you take a shot like Tony Stewart and ever jump, check yourself into a drag car? And he sort of bumped around on it. And he goes, well, I got a few good years left driving a circle car. He goes, I tip my hat to Tony for what he's doing. He goes, but man, going 1,000 feet that fast, that's awful quick, So, but I think that if you gave Kyle Larson 3 days with an instructor, somebody to help him out a little bit, I think he could master F1 too. I really do. I think he's that good of a driver. And as far as you go, and as far as his memory goes, I've seen Brad Sweet race a bunch of dirt racing, man, and that guy's always been the top on my pick. So he's a good one there too. Scratch, you got the final question for the lovely ladies.
Yeah, you talked about Kyle Larson that whole time, but I'm not gonna let it slide that both of these ladies said they like Carson Hocevar too, who I happen to be a kind of a fan of also. But I, just out of curiosity, would like to hear each of you ladies. Riley, we'll go with you first this time. What is it you like about Carson Hocevar?
I like how he's not really afraid to like really get in the front, and he's always messing around with even like the older guys. But he's also a quarter midget alumni, and I remember him from quarter midgets. But also, I at one of the Kansas Nationals, I met him, and he seemed really nice. But I just really like watching him race, and I really love his personality, and I think he has a lot of talent.
For sure.
Memory?
I like the fact that he's really funny, and I also like the fact that like he did like maybe a few years in trucks and then just kind of sent it straight into the cup, and I don't know, I find that really like inspiring. And then like Riley said, we were at Kansas, and there's this one time we had like so much free time on our hands, and he was talking on like the stage, so we went up and we said hi and stuff. And I also remember before the Kansas National came to like the Kansas NASCAR track, I went there with a friend the year before, and I had nothing for him to sign, so I took my shoe off and he signed my shoe. And just ever since he signed my shoe, I guess it's just been like he's always been a driver I look up to and stuff.
Yeah, so that's awesome.
Memory, have you put the shoe up? Did you put it up, or you still wear it?
It's probably somewhere in my room, actually.
All right, there you go.
I don't wear the shoe anymore. It's like, I'm pretty sure the what is it? Like the top of the shoe is coming off the sole. Like the shoe is just falling apart.
Well, that's good. I mean, I Scratch is a big fan of his. We had him on the show here. Carson was on the show here when they came out to Vegas, and he did the week the leading in to the Pennzoil 400. That's the first race here. So and right before that, they were giving him heck because they say he's too aggressive, he's too this. And I told him personally, I said, listen, if you go back and watch film in the mid 80s, late 70s, mid 80s, whether you're a Dale Earnhardt Sr. fan or not, Earnhardt would stick the bumper to you. That's all there was. Now, I mean, he wouldn't slam you to the wall. Well, there's a couple of times he did. But he would intimidate. He'd rattle your cage. And I think the times have changed so much that the older guys, I guess, whether they are demanding respect, wanting the respect, I mean, I think he's got to cut his teeth. He's got a lot of things to learn, that's for sure. But I believe he's got a lot of talent. You guys... What's up next for you guys? Are you all racing over the 4th of July weekend?
Yeah.
Where are you, Riley? Where are you at?
I'm racing at my home track in Houston this weekend.
Okay. Memory?
I'm going to Nebraska at Lincoln County Speedway.
Ah, okay. I've been there. Okay. Scratch, you get the final question before we cut him loose today. Go ahead, buddy.
Hey, I don't have another question for y'all. I just think you ladies I'm impressed with you ladies, and want to wish you both the best out there, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As we always do, we'll start with Memory this time around. You guys get the last minute of this time, so Memory, you have the opportunity to give a shout out to your team members, sponsors, social media sites where they can find you at. It's all you. Go ahead.
Oh, well, to start off, I'd like to thank just the team and like Ashcraft Motorsports for being able to give me this ride that I have, and just everyone on the team. The parents are always there to help. They'll never let you down. The kids that are just on the team, we all support each other and we'll all always watch. And then I would also like to thank Dignity Fire, Quick Trick Alignment Tools, Kerrison Farms, Engine Ice, High Performance, Cool It, Perfect Fit Wellness Center, I Heart Mac and Cheese, and there's so many, but just everyone who's always supported me throughout this journey ever since I was a little girl.
Social media where they can find you at.
You can find me on TikTok, or not TikTok, on Facebook. I meant Facebook. I think it's Memory Ashcraft, and then Ashcraft Motorsports. You'll see me on there too. So those two main pages.
All right. Riley, how about you?
I'd like to thank Ashcraft Motorsports, especially Mem, for She was kind of the reason why I got into a 600. She helped me convince her dad to let me on the team. But also wanted to say good luck to Peyton. She's racing Indy, which is the biggest quarter midget national of the year this week. I love all my teammates. We're like one big family. The parents, they're amazing, and I want to thank all of them for everything. I also want to thank Crystal Frost's Realty. They sponsor my legacy, and everyone this past weekend who helped me at Five Flags to help me get my podium finish. That was a lot of help. And my social media on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook is Riley_Allen. And of course, you can also find me on Ashcraft Motorsports.
There you go. Racing around the country today. I was an all-female live. You got a Miss Riley Allen right there doing it for us, and Memory Ashcroft. Ladies, we want to thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. Have a great season out there. Keep in touch with us. I think we have your other two roommates coming on next week with us on the show, so we'll talk with them. But you guys did a great job. Fantastic. Keep that pedal to the metal, and just like I told Ida, man, go out there and kick some butt, man. Go get them, man. Whether you're on the asphalt or if you're slinging that dirt, man, go get them, okay? You guys have a great 4th of July weekend, and thanks for joining us, all right?
Thank you so much for inviting us.
You guys are welcome. Have a good tell Mark I said, hey, and I'll shove it up. And we're going to send you guys a clip of the movie, a clip of the show, so that you guys have it. You can use it for your social medias, put it up, do whatever you'd like to do, okay?
Okay.
You got it. Scratch, take us to break, my friend.
Yeah, thank you, ladies. Appreciate y'all being guests today. And we'll be back. That is Alan Michaels over in Las Vegas. I am Scratch with a K. I'm in Daytona Beach, Florida. We'll be back with more on Pit Road Racing.
Are you ready for the wildest ride on Fremont Street? The Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171 on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. Open 7 days a week, noon until midnight. Strap yourself in, pull your safety belts tight, and feel the power and the speed at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, downtown Las Vegas. Fremont Street, 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171, right on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. What are you waiting for? Log on, get your tickets now. It's time to go racing at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas.
Man, an all-female show today. Let me scooch us back over here, Scratch, to our double screen. There we go. Back at it. Hey, we're going to take a look at NASCAR for you, Scratch. Get it ready to roll, all right? And the segment is going to be brought to you by our good friends at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, LVMS.com. NASCAR returns for the round of 8, the South Point 400, October 10th, 11th, and 12th. Tickets and more information at LVMS.com. And don't forget, tonight, kicking off in just about 2 hours, it'll be the night of fire, boat racing, double super late models. Scratch, I got to take a quick phone call right here. You go ahead and take care of all the NASCAR news, and I'll join you in just a minute, buddy.
All right, bud, I got it under control. The trucks. Corey Heim, he ran away with the NASCAR Truck Series debut at the Lime Rock Park. Corey Heim's victory in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series debut at Lime Rock wasn't just a case of domination. It was an eyelash away from perfection. Excuse me. Heim led 99 of 100 laps at the 1.478-mile road course at Bucolic Lakeville, Connecticut, to win the Luena 150. His fifth, excuse me again, to win the 150, his 5th victory of the season and his 16th of his career. Ty Majeski finished 2nd. Gio Ragario finished 3rd. Ben Rhodes finished 4th. And Cam Waters finished 5th. the Truck Series Drivers' Point standings after Lime Rock Park, race 15 of 18 of the regular season. Corey Heim with 5 wins is in first. Chandler Smith second. Lane Riggs, Daniel Hemrick, Tyler Ankrum round out the top 5. Stuart Friesen is in sixth. Raja Karuth, Caden Honeycutt, Grant Enfinger, Ty Majeski, and outside the top 10, Jake Garcia, Gio Regadio, and Ben Rhodes. Tanner Gray and Connor Mosick is the top 15. In the Xfinity Series, rookie Nick Sanchez scores his first career NASCAR Xfinity Series win at the Eco Park Speedway, which is in Atlanta, for those of you that didn't know. Nick Sanchez charged into the front after a restart with 7 laps left. Excuse me, been a little under the weather this week. Friday night's Focused Health 250 held off fellow Sunoco rookie Carson Guapo to secure his first NASCAR Xfinity Series victory. Carson Guapo finished second. Sam Mayer was third. Fourth was Connor Zilich. And fifth was Taylor Gray. Xfinity Series playoff standings after Atlanta, which is race 17 of 33. Justin Allgaier, he is the regular season championship leader with 3 wins. Austin Hill with 3 wins is second. Connor Zilich, 2 wins. He's in third. Sammy Smith, he is in fourth. Jesse Love in fifth. Brandon Jones in sixth. Nick Sanchez, Sam Mayer, Carson Groppel, Taylor Gray rounding out the top 10 with Jeb Burton and Sheldon Creed currently below the elimination line. Ryan Sieg, Harrison Burton, Kristen Eckes, Daniel Dye. In the Cup Series, Chase Elliott. I knew he was going to win one eventually, and he did this past weekend in his home state. He won the Quaker State 400 NASCAR Cup Series race at Echo Park Speedway in Atlanta. The win is his first win of the year, second at Atlanta, and 20th career win. Brad Keselowski, he finished second, followed by Alex Bowman, Tyler Reddick, Eric Jones, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Zane Smith, Ty Dillon, Chris Buescher, and Carson Hocevar. Cup Series playoff standings after Atlanta, which is race 18 of 26 of the regular season. Young Money, Kyle Larson, he's still on top with 3 wins. Denny Hamlin got 3 wins. He's in second. Christopher Bell, 3 wins. He's in third. William Byron, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Ross Chastain, Chase Briscoe, Joey Logano, Austin Cindric, Josh Berry, and Shane Van Gisbergen. That is rounding out the top 12. They all have 1 win. And then we start with the no winners yet. Tyler Reddick, he's 13th. Chris Buescher, Alex Bowman, Bubba Wallace, he's in 16th. He is on the bubble right there. And outside the top 16, Ryan Preece, Eric Jones, AJ Allmendinger, and Carson Hocevar.
Go ahead.
This segment was brought to you by the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, LVMS.com. NASCAR returns for the round of 8 at the South Point 400, October 10th, 11th, and 12th. Tickets and all info, LVMS.com. I had a little frog in my throat, man. I've been a little under the weather this week. Sorry about that.
There you go. Point standings in IndyCar right now. Alex Palou, 335. Paddy O'Ward stands back at 262. Kyle Kirkwood at 260. Kristen Lundgaard at 221. And Scott Dixon, multi-champion, at 206. Real quickly, man, Formula One for you in Australia. It was the McLaren scratch that went 1 and 2, while the Ferraris went 3 and 4. It was Lando Norris, Oscar Palestri, Charles Leclerc, and Lewis Hamilton making his way up, man. Point standings as they stand after Austria. It's Oscar up on top, Lando Norris, Max V. And, buddy, I'm telling you, don't count him out, man. Do not count out Lewis Hamilton. I'm just telling you. Look out, buddy. I'm telling you. All righty. All right. Got a couple of minutes left. I'm going to grab my chat notes here.
I got them.
All righty. I guess you sold that the Iowa Cup race has been sold out. NASCAR and the Iowa Speedway announced this past Friday, the tickets are sold out for the NASCAR Cup Series Iowa Corn 350 powered by ethanol race. On Sunday, August 3rd, it was announced that the Iowa Corn will continue its entitlement partnership through a multi-year extension with fast short track. With the fastest short track on the planet. Ryan Blaney won the inaugural Iowa Corn 350 powered by ethanol last year as NASCAR Cup Series made its long-awaited wait to get back to Iowa Speedway. So we'll see what happens with that. Scratch, you got some news about Trackhouse Racing, and say it ain't so that Daniel's out of a ride after this year, huh, buddy?
Hey, that's what the news says. Trackhouse Racing and Daniel Suarez, driver of the number 99 Chevrolet in the NASCAR Cup Series, have announced their mutual decision. You always wonder if that's ever true. Their mutual decision to conclude their partnership following the 2025 season. The move allows Suarez to pursue new opportunities in his racing career. I'm going to just go out on a limb here and say they probably are going to end up in the Xfinity Series again. Not a lot of cup rides out there, I don't think, to be had here soon. And if so, this is the one you want. So anyway, so Suarez, 33, who is an Xfinity Series champion in 2016. So, he'll mop it up out there if he goes back there, just like, the Elliott Sadler days. Remember him?
Yep, sure do.
Right on. A two-time NASCAR Cup Series winner, the first Mexican driver to win a Cup Series race, has been with Trackhouse Racing since it began competition in 2021. Trackhouse founder and owner Justin Marks said, now's the right time to allow Suarez to pursue what's next in his racing career. Dave & Buster's announces its first ever partnership with NASCAR driver fan favorite Tony Bredinger and Tricon. What? Bredinger.
That was correct. You got it. Correct.
Oh, yeah. Bredinger. Thank you. I didn't know I was getting a gold star. I appreciate it. And Tricon Garage. The NASCAR star has officially joined the brand and as its 2025 summer ambassador, bringing fans along for the action-packed ride filled with in-store appearances, limited edition merch, exclusive giveaways, and racing game competitions.
Okay. So, I don't know. Do you follow her?
Who?
Tony Bredinger.
Oh, I don't.
Well,
I'm familiar with the name, but I don't really know.
Well, she made the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition.
Now I'm going to be curious.
Okay. And she's got a lot of female product, Coach bag, a lot of stuff that you and I, unless we were buying it for our better halves or whatever. The point being of it is she's all over the internet. Swimsuit, model. She's not that good on the track yet. So my thing of it is maybe you need to quit looking like a pretty girl and start thinking about what racing is. Do you want a racing career or do you want a modeling? I mean, if she stepped away from racing right now to went into modeling, she'd get paid a lot of money. But the point I'm getting here, and it's just like a couple others. I watched Haley Deegan about 5 or 6 years ago. She came out here and ran the dirt track in an ARCA car. She would have beat Sheldon Creed that night, except that she broke a shifter. Then she moved on. Pretty. Didn't do well in the trucks. Didn't do well in Xfinity. Not doing too well in an open wheel. I think it's the Indy Lights or the F1 series or the F100 series or whatever, 1000 series. I'm not quite sure. She's driving an open wheel car. I saw a picture of her on the line the other day. I mean, she's on a party boat or a speed boat or whatever, and she's got her back to the camera and half of her rear end hanging out. Come on, folks, girls, ladies. There's nothing wrong with being a model. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But if you're a race car driver and you're promoting yourself as a race car driver, then be a race car driver. Don't I mean, this all started with Danica Patrick and go down.
I was just gonna say Danica Patrick was very marketable, and she, was,
what she.
I don't know. I really always thought, she won a pole. I always thought she would win a race, though. I really did. I thought it would be a super speedway race too, because anybody can win those for one, and two, she was pretty decent at them. That's where she got her pole, wasn't it? Daytona, I think.
Yeah, it was at Daytona.
She got her pole here, right?
It's a 500, sure did.
Yeah. In a rookie season, I think.
The point I'm trying to make here is, and the guys are eating this up. They're young, they're pretty. Oh, they're gorgeous. They're this. I mean, Tony Bredinger. I saw a thing the other day. I go, man, it got to be so obnoxious that I had to stop. I had to put her on hold for 30 days. And I saw Tony race out here. I saw Tony race a midget out here, a USAC midget. She did very well, top 5. But she's not done that well. My point of it is, like I said, if you want to be a model, be a model. If you want to do this, do that. That's fine. But you don't need to show.
I want to be a model, but I'm stuck racing junk. So.
Well, but you don't need to show all of your body. I mean, I'm really, I'm really surprised your dad didn't say so. I am really surprised. I mean, the shot, I mean, you don't need to do that, gals. There's a couple of them coming up through the through the super lates and through the ARCAs. I love to see women in the sport. We just had 3 of them on today.
Yes.
So we're not against women in racing. So don't take us there, okay, folks? Don't just start sending scratching eye emails that we're bashing the women because we ain't bashing.
I have a Danica Patrick shirt. I'll wear it next week.
Okay. I'm just saying you don't need to do all that. Go to the track. You don't need to be pretty. I wouldn't worry about my hair because once you stick that head sock and helmet on it, nobody's going to see anyhow. I mean,
I mean, I've been dying for like a lady to be like great at NASCAR, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't have to come in and win a chip. I mean, I just want to, I've been dying for the sport to have a female just come out there and rock it, you know?
Yeah.
I don't care if it's the trucks. I don't care if it's the Xfinity series. I don't care if it's the Cup. Just one of those 3. I would love to see a female just come in there and just be like, bam, here I am. And just mop it up, you know. I'd love to see that.
We got a little lady out here in Las Vegas. Scratch. Her name is Kaylee Barker. She got married. I think it's Kaylee Peterson now. She just won her first super late, or not super late, won her modified. I was there the night that she beat Scott Gaffarini in a super late model, and Gaffarini didn't cut her no slack at all. He come up out of turn 3, tagged her, put a bump to it, then got her in form, put a bump. Kaylee Barker held on to it. And I mean, she's a pretty girl, but she doesn't come to the track with 10 pounds of makeup on her face and fake eyelashes and all this and that. She's there to race. You know what? When the cards fall or the dice roll or whatever. I'm just saying, ladies, you don't need to look like pinup models to be good race car drivers. You'd be better off smudging grease on your face and dirt up underneath your fingernails. And if you come home with a win or a top 5, even a top 10, that'd be great. So anyhow, glad she's with Dave and Buster's. One of the founders of Spire Motorsports entered an agreement to purchase NASCAR team owner Rick Ware and is jumping into the stock car series. And he believes the current charters are grossly undervalued. TJ undervalued. That's what he says. Undervalued. TJ won, who in 2018, alongside Jeff Dickerson, launched Spire Team to take over the charter that Furniture Row Racing, that your old buddy Martin Truex Jr. couldn't unload. The Associated Press this past Thursday, he and Rick Ware Racing have a deal for him to take over Ware's organization next season.
You know what? Back to Furniture Row for 1 second. You just because you mentioned Truex, you know, obviously for obvious reason, but listen, that was from now for the longest time. That right there is the greatest one-car team to exist in NASCAR for a long period of time now. And that's just my opinion. But you know, it won a championship. It won races without Truex. Didn't Kurt Busch win a race there? And who else did they have in there for a while? Was it Amarola? Was he in there?
Eric Amarola might have been in there. I remember Kurt Busch driving a car, and I remember Ryan won his championship. We were here when Ryan won the championship. The show was here. The NASCAR Award Show was here. So
Martin,
we was with
Martin.
him.
Martin. When Martin won it.
Yeah.
When Martin Truex won it. You said Ryan.
No, I'm sorry. When Martin, you're right. You stand me corrected. There you go.
Yes, sir. But yeah, I mean, so in my opinion, as far as one-car teams go, that was probably one of the best one-car teams we've seen in NASCAR history, even maybe.
There you go.
I mean, to modern time of history, you know. I don't know. I thought that it was hard to root against that Furniture Row number 78 when it was out there, except for when it had Kurt Busch in it. No offense, Las Vegas, but I didn't like Kurt Busch. But yeah, that's an interesting story there too, huh?
Certainly is. I mean, you know, and you're right. I mean, and they were a team that was based in Colorado. They weren't in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia.
Yeah, out there by themselves. Right.
They were out there by themselves and actually did that. I want to say a special happy birthday to the king. You see the 7-time champion turned 88 this week, man. Looking good. Have you caught any of his podcasts yet? You know he's starting to do a little podcast thing, right?
I didn't. I was not even aware that he would even know how to do a podcast.
Listen, buddy, he's doing. I don't know. He's the vocal. I mean, I don't think he's actually. He's not running all the controls or anything like that.
He isn't. I'm sure he is.
Okay, but anyhow, he lays a smackdown. He's the one that came out. He's the one that came out and was talking about how the Mexico race was. And then in this last edition that he had, he goes, they're talking about this $1 million challenge and $1 million payoff, teaming, putting drivers, pitting one against the other. And Petty had a great one. He goes, my 42 car was teamed up with Blaney in the 12. Well, we beat Blaney, but none of us finished the race.
I saw a thing on TikTok where he had opened his truck door and a bunch of balloons and stuff came out. So they were wishing him a happy birthday or whatever. That was pretty neat. I was at his 200th victory, man, when Ronald Reagan was there.
I was too. That was the first time I'd ever been to Daytona. The first time I'd ever been to Daytona, my dad took me there. He didn't know what else to do. He said, let's find something to do. And the tickets back then were cheap. So we went there and Ronald Reagan and Richard Petty won the 200. Let's talk a little bit about what happened this past weekend. Scratch, you got the story on this young motorcycle racer.
Yeah, man. A young motocross racer, Aiden Zing, recently died following a crash at the Mammoth Motocross event in California. He was 16 years old and sustained fatal injuries during a race on June 28th. 2 motorcycle racers have died following a major first lap incident that involved 11 riders in a British Supersport Championship race on Monday. Motorsport Vision Racing, which organizes the series, confirmed the deaths of Owen Jenner, age 21, and Shane Richardson, age 29. Another racer, 47-year-old Tom Tunstall, is in the hospital with significant back injuries and abdominal injuries. So
sad.
That's sad.
I hate to end the show on a sad note, but I caught that, and I was watching Supercross this weekend, and then I caught around, and they had some footage, and I couldn't even watch it. I said, no, click this off. I don't need to see this.
Well, let's end it on a good note. Look who's back.
There he is.
But look, there's some improvements now. There's some improvements. He's got a little finger there, and my ex-girlfriend left me this lovely little note that I strapped on there. I don't know if you can read that or not, but it says better luck next time. Better luck next time. So we got the little rabbits holding this. So my lucky rabbit's name's Foot. Next time I race will be August 9th at Citrus County Speedway for the Night of Destruction. And this time we will not forget it. Plus I got my other little good luck there. Better luck next time. Right? So maybe this time I'll do better.
Oh my goodness gracious. Well, anyhow, that's it. You got comedy shows this week? What's going on with the Nutjack?
That was the comedy show right there. That was the
comedy show right there. All right.
Yeah, no, I got the auction, the comedy auction at Peanuts on Flagler Ave in New Smyrna on Tuesdays at 7:00, man. I love that thing. We talked about it earlier in the show. So yeah, every 7:00 on Flagler Ave, Peanuts comedy auction. I make fun of the stuff we're auctioning off. You can buy some stuff and I might make fun of you too. Who knows?
There you go. All righty. Night of Fire tonight. They run into New Smyrna this week. Are they running New Smyrna this weekend?
They're not. They're not running New Smyrna or Volusia this weekend. New Smyrna, I'm not sure exactly when they come back, but July 12th, I know they've got a big summer show out at Volusia. I might try to go out there. It's been a while since I saw a little bit of dirt racing, so I might go out there. I will say this too. Tomorrow, we are off for the High Banks on WSBB for the holidays. Since it's the 4th of July, we'll be off for the High Banks, but we'll return, and you'll join me next Friday for that at 5:00 Eastern time on WSBB. That's pretty much all. I think that's all I got to say today.
Las Vegas people, get yourself in the cars, get rolling, because Green Flag's going to be falling in just.
Wish I was there.
Yeah, Green Flag's going to follow here in just about an hour and a half out at the bull ring out there. So make sure you get out there and check that out and do that.
Drive safe, Vegas.
Want to thank Eda Setterstorm and Riley and Memory. Great guest today. You guys are all
great guest.
Female power today in the studio. So I like that.
I enjoyed it. It was very good.
my friend, I'm going to cut a trail. Life has been good. Been a little past couple rough days here, but trust me, my friend, we're going to get through it. All right. So I'm going to call.
Sir.
I'm going to call for John. How about it? All right.
Sir. Yes, sir.
I want to thank my buddy Scratch of the K at the Nutshot Studios down in Daytona Beach, Florida. Back at you next Thursday, everybody. I want to thank you to Soderstrom, Riley Allen, Memory Ashback for joining us today. Great show today with the gals, man. I love it. Have yourself a happy 4th of July weekend. Be safe, be careful, everybody. John, take us home.
Thanks for joining us for On Pit Road Racing. Follow us on our website, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at On Pit Road Racing. On Pit Road Racing is written and produced by WCOBN TV. I'm John the Announcer for On Pit Road Racing.